Hello, my name is Chris Wolfkeeler, and this is my final teaching topic presentation. The topic that was given to me is how graphics affect communication. I want to start off with this explanation that will give you a good idea about my topic. So consider yourself a CEO of a tech company that sells top-of-the-line tech products. So you try to come up with a way to show how to sell your product effectively to your staff. A great way to do just that is to implement graphic communication. There's all kinds of ways you as a CEO could utilize by using graphic communication, and so I will work with you and show you how you can actually use techniques in this presentation to provide excellent communication using graphics. Alright, so let's go to the next. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the importance of graphic communication. So the method of communication that we use to portray to our audience effectively is graphic communication. What this means is that you can use graphics effectively so that your audience can better understand the information being presented to them. Graphic communication can easily show summaries, help connect the dots, paint image, and draw conclusions. So it also incorporates words and images to convey data, concepts, and emotions. And so I'm going to go over some interesting statistics here. Time spent per day watching videos by adults in the U.S. grew by more than 5 times, from an average of 39 seconds per day in 2011 to an average of 1 minute and 55 seconds in 2015. And the usage is still trending upward. So what this means is that more people are actually watching videos instead of just reading plain old text in books. It's more videos now, so you can gain a lot more information just by watching a minute and 55-second video. And that skyrocketed in 2015, so imagine what it is now and how often we use video. About 50% of our brains are involved in visual processing. So not necessarily a whole lot of your brain, I mean half of it is used, but I think that's still very important to know that half of our brain processes information visually, and that's why graphic communication is so important. People following directions with illustrations do 323% better than those following text directions alone. So once again, illustrations, videos, they just comprehend and can absorb more information by graphic communication. People only remember about 10% of what they hear after 3 days, but if a relevant image is paired with the same information, retention goes up to 65%. So I thought that was also an awesome concept to grasp, is that using graphics really does help amazingly when it comes to retention. And did you know the earliest graphics known to anthropologists studying prehistoric periods are cave paintings and markings on boulders, bone, ivory, and antlers. And so that's why I have this image right here. I think it's really cool that we can actually look at these paintings and have an idea of what's actually happening, but thousands and thousands of years ago. And so, you know, images, paintings can paint thousands of words, right? We've heard that saying before. And these are all just common designs, graphics that you've seen going to a restaurant, going to the mall, whatever it may be. And so these are just kind of graphics that you see day to day. And so they're always very important to know when you're in certain places. Alright. So next is what exactly are graphics? I'm sure you guys are wondering exactly what I mean by graphics. So basically they all come in different forms. As you can see here, they can be maps, photographs, designs and patterns, diagrams, architectural or engineering blueprints, bars and charts, and schematics. All of these are used as graphics and used to communicate information. So like with bar and pie charts, architectural engineering blueprints, that can show a whole lot of information, but in a graphic form, which is so much more effective than just having a plain old text. That would be really boring just to go over a bunch of text, right? And also what I wanted to point out here, what I thought was really, really good to know, is 90% of information is transmitted to the brain is visual. 90%! So that's a whole lot of information that you can gain just by looking at visuals. And 90% of it gets transmitted to the brain. So that's also very important, and why graphic communication is used in so many different fields. Alright, and so next slide I want to go to is the main purposes. And so the main purposes of graphic communications is to transfer messages or information to the receiver in an effective way, aka implant information. That's why it's mainly used. This is why graphic communication is so important. It's very effective in making information easy to understand and grasp. If you want your product, point of view, or anything you desire that you want to address to your audience, using graphic communication will help your presentation effectively. Graphic communication is a method that human beings exchange information. This is critical because using graphic communication makes information much easier to understand. And also when you think about information, you think about the internet and the age that we're in. We can get information so quickly. And then so with these research products that we're doing for school and all of these other products that you may do, you can access really good quality information and graphics online. And so that's also what graphic communication is important, because it's teaching a whole lot of people new things through research, and the internet is just an amazing resource full of all of it. It can express your opinions, desires, and goals. So if you have a presentation, you're trying to express an opinion, a desire, and a goal, you can certainly do that by using graphics that correlate to that. You can make anything look like how you'd like it to by using just simple graphics. I can have a smiley face up here. I can have a sad face. I can have, a depressing image of something, or a really happy image. And so you can incorporate that. And so it can express so much just by using simple graphics, as well as your opinions and desires. You can use graphic communication to express your happiness or disappointment. So same thing. You just use emotion to express how you actually feel about something. And what I really want to kind of get into your brains, that's for you to learn here and grasp. Is using graphic communication convinces others to buy something or believe in something. So kind of the example I use as a CEO. I'm going to be using graphic communication to actually implant what I want into your mind so that you have a better understanding. And so I can have a graphic of my product. It'll really help to explain a schematic of it or anything like that. And so that's why one of the main purposes of graphic communication is that you can use it to convince others to buy something and or believe in it. All right. Oops. All right, so using graphics to communicate in specific fields. So what I kind of chose to kind of go over was the creative, technical, marketing, and manufacturing fields. And so this is going to kind of give you a grasp of what you'll see in these particular fields. So like in the creative field, this kind of goes more towards graphic design. So I have like a picture of Adobe InDesign. That's like one of the main programs used. So you'll see that all the time. Graphic design. A pencil and a ruler. So that's another graphic that's kind of used for being creative. And also right here is mainly used for graphic design as well. It's a monitor and it's showing a program, and that just shows that's it's being used for graphic design in the creative field. Technical, so that's the kind of field that I'm in. I always like to mention that because it's what I do. And having graphics such as a picture of the internals of a computer or a modem or any component really helps me get a better grasp of what I'm learning. I love networking, and so things are represented like with the cloud. It stands for the internet or cloud-based computing, storage, whatever it may be, and so that helps me to learn that concept much better. And so I have pictures right here of computers, and like a computer repair symbol. And then for marketing, all kinds of graphics are used that you can actually push out there. So you can have like infographics, you can have your website, for example, or any kind of other graphic that you want to use, you can incorporate. And then lastly is manufacturing. So that's also important to know, is that within manufacturing there's all kinds of graphics that are used to show how to manufacture products. Different symbols and information is also used in manufacturing. So those are kind of things that you'll see right here. There's an assembly line and all that. So those are all the kind of fields that graphic communication is used in. All right. So the next slide here is making information easier to understand. So basically, let me see here. So this is actually expressing how to use graphic information to make information easier to understand, which is mainly kind of like why it's used, not just to implant information, but to make it easier to understand. So in areas such as learning, in areas of learning such as recognition, recall, comprehension, and problem solving, point to the fact that visuals enhance learning. And I'm kind of more of a visual learner. I can't really comprehend a whole lot of what I'm reading. So actually seeing visuals really does help me to learn better. And diagrams and graphs can help learners comprehend abstract concepts using visual language to depict meaning. So you can have certain images up there on your presentation, whatever you're trying to show an audience, and then so that can actually depict meaning. You can have a meaningful message there along with an image. That's kind of what that is showing. You can use diagrams and graphs, images to help comprehend abstract concepts, and creates more effective summary of information. So you can have like a wrap up at the end of a certain presentation and have all your information there. You can have your graphs, your diagrams, images there, which can thoroughly conclude your information as well as summarize it, which will make it a lot easier to understand. Alright, and simple visuals. And this is what I like about graphic communication, because it just helps to simplify things. As mentioned in the last slide, this is kind of going more in depth about the simplicity. So basically it's used for understanding topics effectively. So I can simplify so many different subjects by using simple graphics, by using diagrams, illustrations. Gets your audience started and connected with your material. So as I'm going through this presentation, you can see the images I already put up in the very beginning, like to that prehistoric drawing or to those basic symbols that you see. I'm hoping that will actually stick to your memory as far as what graphic information does. Creates an entry point for larger / more complex discussions. So you can have like an interesting image or something that will spark some conversation after your presentation at the end or the beginning or the middle, and which can start a larger, more complex discussion, because people will be wondering, oh, what's that? What exactly is that image? What does that pertain to what we're doing? So you can actually put things up there for people to ask questions. It aids overwhelming information in the beginning. So you can have like a funny picture or something, or just an interesting image, or an image like this that says simplicity, just kind of calms you down. So that's kind of what that means. It just helps to aid overwhelming information. And examples would be cartoons, doodles, inspiring quotes, and pictures. It's like this image right here represents simplicity. It's nice and calming, huh? Alright, and then graphic design. Basically, I think graphic design is very important. And traditional graphic design is the art of projecting ideas and experiences with visual and textual content. So it's very effective with if you hire a graphic designer to create your website. It just works tremendously, because you're going to use, it's a form of art. And so you can basically tailor what you want in your website to make it look so much better. Graphic design is essential, being able to communicate effectively. It serves to deliver your message to the target audience in an aesthetic way. It can be physical or digital. It includes images, words, and graphics, but visually involves all three. And examples would be logos, brochures, websites, packaging, branding, signage, books, and magazines. So that's a lot of things that graphic design is used for. You see it literally everywhere. And it just makes so many different ideas that you want to put together. It just makes them simpler and more easier to understand. And you can just use graphic design to make so many things look so much better. And I actually really like doing it myself. I've had a passion for graphic design. I've designed graphics for like logos for companies. I've designed my own photography company. So just one simple image you can create can just grab people's attention. You can use brochures, business cards, websites, leaflets, stationaries. All that is used in graphic design. And so it's kind of why I want to go over graphic design, because I think it's very important when it comes to graphic communication. All right, and then graphics for a marketing strategy. So of course we want to use graphic communication for pushing your product, and kind of what I went at the beginning as a CEO. So create engaging content. So using graphic communication, you can create engaging content as well as using eye-catching graphics for your specific market. For in-person events, you can hand out flyers, business cards, brochures to kind of market yourself. Good graphic communication marketing can convey the summary of a blog post for your product. It can showcase your new product, explain statistics, and more importantly, plant itself into your target audience's memories. And so you can have like little leaflets like this and bar graphs, and just pretty much going over all your information that you want to show to your audience. It just really helps to get your audience's attention and to just have them interested in what you're doing. Especially creating engaging content for your specific product that you want to market and for your company. And then lastly, what I wanted to go over here is graphics as an asset. This is mainly kind of towards as being a presenter, how you can use graphic communication as an asset. So it's an effective way to showcase your product. So as I was kind of explaining before, you can use graphic communication. You can use specific images, graphs, illustrations to showcase your specific product that you want your audience to understand more effectively. Using infographics will look very appealing, and some of the information you want your target audience to know. So you can use all kinds of different infographics. I really do like this whole image that I put up here. As you can see it all right in here in the whole image. I think it's really cool. I love like infographics and like that, because you can put so much information and simplify it so much easier by having an infographic. And that's like what I would use as an asset. I would hand out my infographic after my presentation so that people can understand the content that I went over. And then lastly, what I kind of want to reiterate here is it's vital that you talk to your target audience and find out whether your graphic communications are attractive to them. So I do hope that in my presentation today that you've understood what graphic communication is and why it's so effective. But as part of how it is an asset, after your presentation, you can ask your audience, like, did I have enough content in there, or as far as with graphics and images to help you learn my content better? Did you get a better understanding of the product? And so I kind of go back as a CEO. I would, even ask. I would ask my employees. I'd be like, did you guys have a thorough understanding of the graphics that I used to help you have a better understanding of the content? Okay, so that sums up my presentation. I hope that everyone had a good understanding of what graphic communication is. Thank you for watching.